Hey, it's exciting. Hey, thank you for showing up always. Hey, my name is Kirkland. My business is Stewart Snacks. I want you to stay tuned for a moment and we're going to talk about some entrepreneur tips. I mean, it's going to be exciting. Stay tuned and hold on. Well, hello. Thank you for just joining me, holding out for a moment to understand some of the things that we're going to talk about. Hey, I thank you for your patience. Just wait, just bear with me. It's raining right now, so I'm gonna do this video to kind of help us out today and to try to give us some entrepreneur tips. Man, I'm telling you, a lot of people are wondering and asking questions about entrepreneur. Hey, what is an entrepreneur? What is it? I mean, a lot of people don't know how to break these things down. And so what I want to do is kind of give you a little bit more detail. I know I talk about entrepreneur and we go through the motions about being an entrepreneur, but we need to know the definition, define of it. And a lot of times when we get a lot of these defined things in tune of the definitions of it, a lot of times it's not tuned in like it's supposed to be. Because being an entrepreneur is a lot of hard work. You taking on a heavy jacket like what I got on because it's cold today, and that's part of it. The weather changes and you got to be out in it. Not all entrepreneurs have to be out in it. But the niche that I picked is selling salty snacks where I am out in the weather. So I just want to give a shout out to the people that are out being entrepreneurs in construction work and all this kind of stuff, man, because it gets a little bit more deeper than that. But because I'm selling snacks and I'm going to stick to that concept, so we need to break this thing down. And I don't want to hold you long. Pull your chair up or just plug your earphones in and just listen to some of these detailed things that can help you and skill you out so you can say, oh, now I may be an entrepreneur and don't even know I'm an entrepreneur. So a lot of times we have them skills starting out when we was younger, or maybe you got caught up into something and you realize that you're an entrepreneur. Some different detailed things are going to be broke down in your life, could be venturing you off to being an entrepreneur, and you may not even know that you're an entrepreneur and you got crafts. I have worked with several people on jobs and I just knew these people were entrepreneurs. I mean, I watched them put in all the hard work, and then they never did own their own business. They had all these things. They was building these companies for these other people. And so I had to jump off. I had to literally jump off of that boat and jump in the water and said, I'm going swimming and I'm going to find that niche. And I found that niche. But an entrepreneur is someone who starts a business, starts something. You have to start something. So you are sitting on that fence, or you are still in that boat and just riding, taking the comfort zone. You need to jump in the water. So usually by identifying a need in the market. So there's a need that you see in the market. My thing was, I started off in the front of my yard, and then I realized, guess what? All these kids and these kids that I had around me, there was so many of them. They wanted to go to the store all the time. So I said, maybe I can farm a candy store in my front yard and have all these kids. They pass down the road down here, and they always wanted to go to the store. Let's try that. So I saved my money and I went and I got a candy store. And I got a little 10 by 10 shed, put it in front of my yard, put an air conditioning in it. It took a little time for me to get that air conditioner, but it was a small air conditioning unit. And then I set up and start just putting in candy, certain candies I thought that kids would like, and then I had to get the feedback of it. So I'd seen that there was a need into the market, and so by me being an entrepreneur, I had the skills. I had to see what that market what the market wanted. I had to find out what these customers wanted. And even though they was kids, and it wasn't hard, because they're going to tell you, why don't you have this? Won't you get this? How come you don't never have this? And why you always running out of this? They're going to keep you in the market of knowing what they really want. And so also, it is taking on the risk of starting a new venture. You taking on risk. I mean, I could have took a risk. Just say if I would have opened up that thing and no kids came. They'd have passed me by and said, man, I'm not going to that. But I had observed them and watched them, and the kids that are around me, I always had to bring them to the store. So I said, why not bring the store to them? And so here I was. And then that risk that I took of putting my money in, because I think it was like about $500 for that shed, and I had to literally build that shed. It took time. I had to build it in my yard and put that shed up, and finally got it, and then I started putting things in. Well, the kids that were around me, I had to get them to talk about this candy store that was out. So I started selling things they liked. I put Dixie cups. Some of you may know them as Hucklebucks or frozen cups. I did all that. I put all that in place so they can be able to want all that. And so we need to know an entrepreneur is someone who organize, manage, and take on the risk of the business or your enterprise. So I had to be able to take on some roles in me being into that. I had to be the manager. I had to be the cleanup guy, sweeping. I had to do all these different things, put in a lot of labor, staying up night to figure out and work part-time jobs to save up money to do these things. So I had to do all these things. So I had to use the skills that I had of selling different things. And so I had that skill, because during that time I was doing construction work, and I also was delivering pizza at nighttime. And so, all these ideas came from that part-time job that we were shooting out at each other, trying to figure out what can we do to make money. So you have to understand, in being an entrepreneur, there's roles in it and there's rewards in it. And the rewards are in it is being an entrepreneur can be highly rewarded and generate economic wealth, growth, and innovation. So it became rewarding to me. I started seeing that I was beginning to make money, and then rewards came good to me. It's like, okay, I can be able to make some money, but I had to figure out a way how I can stretch it out. So I ended up getting vending machines and that wasn't generating enough money. And so, I said, I need to literally start really selling some snacks. So I started trying to go to these stores and became a distributor, make a long story short. And so there is a lot of people who started with simple things. You think about Jeff Bezos, you think about Mark Zuckerberg, all these people, Steve Harvey, people he had an ideal about telling jokes and stuff like that. People had all these different things that they can be able to do and to become entrepreneurs, and they figure out their niche, and they took the skills and applied them to their life. And so that's the things that you have to do, apply them to your life. Entrepreneur is a process setting up a business, and it's highly risky, but also can be rewarding. Entrepreneur needs to ensure funding, which can come from sources. So I had to save up a lot of money before I could really generate to build, because when you are being an entrepreneur, you got to go brick by brick in being able to grow. So not all the time you're going to stay on that same page. I started off selling in front of my house, and here I am now. I'm dealing with selling to stores now, all different stores of different snacks. So it begins to grow, and you begin to save up money, because I had to save up money to be able to get the box truck and a trailer and all these different things too. So I just want to thank you all for just joining me to listen to some of these tips about being an entrepreneur. And so maybe down the line, if you wanted to be an entrepreneur or you want to take your skills, there's plenty of skills of being an entrepreneur. Some people start off cutting hair. People start dancing. People rap. These entrepreneur skills that you can be able to land you into how some people draw. A lot of different things. I watch people just play the guitar and make money and became famous of doing these different things. Just different things that you can be good at. But one thing you have to understand, take these entrepreneur tips about being an entrepreneur and you have to apply them to your life. Do them, get them done. Take the step out like I had to do. I was watching all these things going around where I could be able to make more money and not have to work so hard about it and not have to get in my vehicle and go to another job. Is create something right around me while I was at home and I could be able to do it. All I do is sit at home. When their kids come, they'll come knock at the door, and then I would go out there, open up the shed, and sell them what they want. And then one kid would pass it, another one down, another kid's down, and with summertime Saturdays on the weekend, it was 7 days a week. Kids was knocking on the door, and so it was very intriguing, and I had fun. I loved that. I mean, everybody knew me from being the candy man, so this is where it started from. I didn't know that it was going to bring me to where here. I just thought it was going to be a pass-through thing, and I'll just make a little extra money. So, thank you all for just joining me. You all take time out to listen to some of these tips. Enjoy being an entrepreneur, and we'll see you soon with another video. So, if you want to know about my videos and when they're coming out, subscribe to my channel or like to keep the algorithm going so we can be able to get some of these things to the world. Simple people that are just building lives and creating wealth, being successful in simple things that you can be able to do. Thank you for joining. You all have a wonderful day, and don't forget, keep pumping and keep the momentum going. Yes.